We're going to look at two more examples in this video of adding using decimal grids, but we're going to include a whole number part and a thousandths place, whereas the last video we had just the tenths and the hundredths. So let's represent this first problem. So notice this is 34 thousandths or 3 hundredths and 4 thousandths. And notice we have our thousandths place ready. So this would be 3 yellows. And we used blue for the thousandths place. So 1, 2, 3, 4 blues. And if we put that in there, that would be little less than half of a hundredth. Now the next one, we have 5 tenths. So 5 orange strips. We don't have any yellow squares. And then we have 9 thousandths. So let's combine these together, and why don't we start with the biggest place value, the orange strips. So there's 0 orange strips here, 5, so we still have 5. Okay. Now we have 3 yellow squares in total thus far. And now notice if we combine these two thousandths place, we're going to do a trade. Here's how I'm going to represent this. We'll take this thousandth. We put that right in there. That would give us 10 thousandths, which equals 1/100th. So we're going to take this and trade for 1 yellow square. Now we have 4 yellow squares, and notice after we've used these and that one, we have 3 blue thousandths left over. So we'd have 3 thousandths. Okay, so we regroup the thousandths. And we've actually done that with the hundredths in the last problem, but they were right in the grid, so we'd get a whole column of hundredths, and we would trade that in for an orange strip or a tenth. So this is our final answer. So let's see, we have 5 tenths, so 0.5. We have 4 hundredths, and then 3 thousandths. So 0.543 or 543 thousandths. Let's look at the last one. So these decimals have some whole number place values. Okay? And we've learned how to add these using base blocks before. But here we're just going to think of them as, well, 7 and 26 hundredths. We're just going to put a 7 plus in here. And here we're going to put a 4 plus. Okay? So these are both in the ones place, so we're basically going to combine these together. They have the same type units. You could think of them as shading in an entire grid. We have 7 of them and 4 of them. That will be a total of 11 ones, or 110 and 1. Okay, but we're not going to shade in that many big grids because it would take up too much space. So now let's look at just the decimal parts. So we have 26 hundredths or 2 tenths and 6 hundredths, so 6 yellow squares. The next decimal is 4 and 308 thousandths, which is 3 tenths. Zero yellow squares, and then 8 hundredths. So 1, 2, that would be 8. Okay, so let's look at our final result. So we're going to add them based on their size. So 7 and 4 is 11. So I'm just going to write the 11 right there, put 11, all right, plus, and we'll save that for later. The orange strips, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orange strips. So that's half of this unit. Okay, yep, combining the yellow squares. Here we had 6 yellow squares. And combining the thousandths, we still have 8 thousandths. So this represents our sum. And we have 11, and we'll put point, and now the decimal fraction. So this is 5/10. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hundredths, or 6 yellow squares, and 8 thousandths. So the sum is 11.568, or 11 and 568 thousandths. So the main takeaway, besides combining the two values to make a new value, of these problems is we add like units, which in this case is like place values. So we added orange strips with other orange strips because they're the same size. We didn't say 2 orange and 8 blue is 10. It's not 10 of any particular unit. And we're going to use this same idea when we add without grids.